Hey guys, Blast here. I'm doing my first review, which I've been planning to do reviews for a while. So I decided to start off with a game that's pretty near and dear to my heart, at least the remake of it. So today I will be reviewing the Dead Space remake. The first Dead Space is one of my favorite video games of all time. I remember being a little kid and watching my Theo play it on his Xbox 360 and just being horrified at what I was watching. I distinctly remember the moment where Isaac Clarke is locked in the medbay during like a quarantine, and all the lights shut off and the sirens start blaring and like the room turns almost like red, or maybe like a light. The lighting of the room is red. It's like it's all really creepy. And all my Theo had was the flamethrower, and he had lit up the necromorphs and just stomped them to pieces, and it just blew me away. Now that moment is like one of my core gaming memories, and I'm glad to have shared it with my uncle. Now, to be upfront, I'm a bit unfamiliar with Part 2 and 3. Part 2, I just never got around to completing it, even if it's on Game Pass, I don't know. And I tried Part 3 with my cousin, and I just hated the crafting mechanic, and I heard the ending sucks, or maybe it was like a cliffhanger, so I just decided to opt out. So Part 1 is my favorite, and I will admit that makes me a tad bit biased. This will also be a standalone review rather than a direct comparison, because that's already been done before. Anyway, what is Dead Space 2023 about? So it's the exact same story as the original. We see the story unfold through the eyes of Chief Engineer Isaac Clarke. Him and his group go to investigate a mining colony called the USG Ishimura that sent a distress signal. Isaac's main motivation is that he's looking for his girlfriend Nicole. Now, if you've seen the movie Event Horizon, you can kind of tell where this is going, and if you haven't seen the movie, I strongly recommend it. It's so good. Anyway, it turns out that the colonists are missing, and the ship is crawling with these messed up creatures known as the necromorphs. They look like monsters, like from The Thing. It's just amazing. You know, stuff happens, and hell ensues. Anyway, I keep saying anyway. Let's see how many times I say it actually. The game is a third-person horror shooter heavily inspired by Resident Evil. Unfortunately, I could not find the quote for the life of me, but I distinctly remember that one of the creators pitched Dead Space as quote, or sort of quote, or whatever, Resident Evil 4 in space, which is pretty apparent, especially as the RE4 remake and Dead Space remake were released about a month apart from each other, which was pretty cool. So, what did I enjoy about the game, or what did I find good about it? So first, it's scary. I don't really care much for graphics, but I'd be stupid not to mention how beautifully creepy the game is. The story and Isaac's struggles are expanded upon a bit more and made it flow better, and even made it connected to Dead Space 2 near the ending. Every weapon is fun. The only reason I'm using the plasma cutter in the footage is so I can get the achievement, the one gun, where you beat the game using only the plasma cutter. The stasis and connect abilities are super fun to use. Lots of replayability, currently on my third or fourth playthrough. The game is extremely immersive. The upgrades feel good and actually make a difference, and overall the positives outweigh any negatives. Speaking of negatives, there aren't that many, but reviewing this as a critic, I must point them out. Since I've played the original, there are many things that were kept the same, such as environments and jump scares and music cues. However, this does not affect the final rating, since this is expected due to it being an exact remake and not a reimagining. A cool comparison is between RE2 and the remake of RE2, Resident Evil, of course. Those were completely different games, so there would be considered a reimagining, while games like Dead Space and the remake are almost exactly remaking the original beat for beat with minor and updated differences. So that's the difference between a remake and a reimagining. Another negative that I absolutely hate is that the map screen does not allow you to place down custom waypoints. This forces the player to either explore random areas, check the map constantly, or just memorize the map in order to find loot boxes and locked doors. It's just tedious and a bit frustrating. The main problem is the backtracking. It absolutely blows. Otherwise, two negatives are not a major deal. Overall, the game is fantastic. It's almost a one-for-one remake with updated visuals and slightly different mechanics, different buttons. I know, for example, off the top of my head, I play on Xbox, so the right trigger would be Isaac swinging the weapon he's using, so like a punch, and the right bumper would be the stomp, which is that's the controls for the original one. The remake, it's reversed, so it feels better. So the right bumper is like the fist, the punch, and the right trigger is the stomp. So it flows better. Just overall, the controls are way better in the remake, and I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but the remake takes the flight controls of Zero Gravity from the second game, which I haven't played, but that's what I've heard, and I gotta go back and play Dead Space 2. So otherwise, it improves upon the original. My uncle, his thoughts on the game was that he misses when Isaac Clarke was mute, where he didn't say anything. I'm kind of mixed on it, because while I do love that Isaac was mute in the first game, I think the guy who voices him, I can't think of his name right now, and I don't have it in the script, I think he did a perfect job, and I just felt like he added more humanity is that the word? Humanity to Isaac, which, what more could you ask for? So if you've played the original, it's really good, and I think you should try it. If you're new, check this one out. And if you love scary games, this is a must play. Alright, you've heard it from me, must play. So it's 1 year old already. I played it when it first came out. I pre-ordered it the day before. I really happy with my purchase. It's a fantastic game. Absolutely beats out the original. I think I've already said that already. So anyway, overall, I give the Dead Space remake an 8 out of 10. Nah, yes, 8 out of 10. that wasn't the script. That's just off me reading my pros and cons right here. So 8 out of 10 is the final rating. And I think it's my favorite game of this year. Unfortunately, it is a remake, so it shouldn't even count. But I didn't really play a lot of new games this year, so I wasn't really interested in them. The one game I was sort of interested in was the RoboCop, but they didn't have it at the GameStop that I went to, so it's like up in the air. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that you're gonna look forward to any more reviews that I'm doing, because I have 2 more planned up. I don't know when they're going to release. This one's going to release for January and February. You know, I'm planning to do like one big review every 2 months, major game review, and then maybe like 2-minute reviews of quick movies that I've seen. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to go. That's just the plan I have for it right now. I plan to upload on this channel more, and I think that's all I have to say. So I thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you want more, and yeah, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Game over.